People say that the golden rule is to love your neighbor, but that's not what the Bible says. The Bible says that the golden rule is to love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, soul, spirit, and body. That is the greatest commandment in the law. And then Jesus says the other is like it, meaning the second. And that is to love your neighbor as yourself. And I did a study once where I compared how many words are spoken about loving God, and percentage wise, it broke down to about 80% was about God, and then love your neighbor as yourself was a really quick kind of addendum. It was like 80 or 90% was about God, and only 10 or 20 was about your neighbor. And that's the thing, is that people want the good without, they don't want to sign the contract, basically, what is what they want. They want all the good and none of the consequences, right? And that's the thing is, God has done a lot for everyone to the point where we haven't earned anything. We're just here, you know? And, people go about their day, everything's pretty jolly usually, unless because of their own stupidity, something bad happens sometimes, And then, right, something bad happens, they're like, oh, where's God? Where is God in this whole thing? Well, you know what? Where were you when God made the earth? Kind of like what it says in the book of Job, right? So it's like you don't have this high opinion, to be able to complain about God, and people, they invent a golden rule that has nothing to do with God because they want to say that, oh, if I'm just a nice guy, I can just do whatever I want. And, oh, I like to sin, so that guy can sin. And I don't have to say anything, and it's all good because I'm just doing what I would want someone to do to me, or vice versa, right? And that's not how it is, dude. Like, you have to have a standard of righteousness to be able to know what is good for your neighbor or not. And that's where God comes in. So, yeah, basically, like, if someone tells you the golden rule, I highly encourage you to elaborate to them what the golden rule actually is. And that's to love God first. And only through that can you have an authentic love that loves your neighbor, or else your love for your neighbor is just self-indulgence and justification, right? All right. God bless. Fear the Lord. It's the beginning of wisdom. Peace out.